Set, they're ready. Lets them go. Racing Masquerade jumped out quite well, and so did the Celt. Oliver's Travels from deeper out, and Minus Looks goes up there looking for the front also. Annie just behind those through the first 200. Mrs. Brown's Boy's going to be ridden back off the pace, and Candlelight Star anchored out the back is last of all, and there's no real pressure as Oliver's Travels goes up. He's searching for a bit more leather, and so his rider now obliges. Anoski gives him a bit more rein. Oliver's Travels found himself in front by the 750 and races out to lead by 2. Minus Looks is going to sit just off him. A length and a half to Masquerade. On the fence running fourth, the Celt. Inside of the mare, Annie. And the last couple were Mrs. Brown's Boy, who's over on the outside of the grey Candlelight Star. Oliver's Travels doing it well within himself nearing the corner, and they haven't done a tap really at the 400 mark. Coming into the bend, Oliver's Travels. He should have a sprint from on the outside. Minus Looks and called upon Masquerade. Here comes Annie starting to wind up down the extreme outside. Back on the fence is the Celt. Minus Looks and grabbed the lead. Annie quickly ranged up though with 150 left to travel. It's Annie on the outside of Minus Looks fighting it out. Annie gets ahead in front. Candlelight Star finishing strongly from the back, but Annie makes a winning return to WA. Annie beat Minus Looks and Candlelight Star. Then Mrs. Brown's Boy Masquerade looked pretty flat in the run home. Oliver's Travels gave up without much of a fight, and towards the end over on the rails is the Celt. Number 6, the winner, Annie, ridden by Lucy Warwick. Back in action here in WA after a campaign in Victoria where she acquitted herself reasonably well, all things considered, against some real quality fillies and mares. And she certainly did produce a lovely turn of foot today, because there was little pace on, or seemingly little pace. Oliver's Travels up there working his way to the top. That would not have been the plan. And he really did, I guess, fray up under the 60.5 when Minus Looks had headed him. Candlelight Star from the back has run home pretty well, but Masquerade's been disappointing. It was under heavy pressure from Pike over the latter stages, as Annie in 1:11.11 returns to WA and does it with a great performance here, because she's worked home off the back of a speed that probably didn't quite suit those there in behind them. But she's done the job. She's done it well for Brett Fogarty by Sebring from Uncanny, trained by Lindsay Smith. First run today for Lindsay, handled by Lucy Warwick. Minus Looks second by Demerit from All Class. Steve Wolfe, Sean McGruddy, Candlelight Star third, the Kendall Star, Soft Wind Gelding, Adam Durant and Chris Parnham. A half a length by half a length. A big sprint home, 34.59. Hers is probably going to be better than that from where she was on the corner. And Lucy there with a stick in the left hand, getting the mare home. And it's a great return to WA racing. And let's go out to Britt Taylor, who's now with Lucy over there in the back after the victory.
Thanks very much, Darren. And Lucy, you jump aboard this horse. First up, no trial, a few people taking on a bit of trust. Did Lindsay give you much guide going into the race?
No, I honestly didn't really speak to him until today. He said, you know, obviously it would either come out and go awesome or it'll go woeful. There's probably no in between. And thankfully she went awesome. They went quite slow, and she travelled probably the best she's ever travelled, and I probably would think that would be the closest she's ever sat in a race. And she let down just as good.
You were just explaining off camera that just the great feel that she gives. Try to describe that.
Yeah, she's a big mare. She's a lot to sit on, which is nice. Just nice and muscly, and no, she's awesome.
Well, congratulations on the win, Luce.
Thanks, Britt.
Exciting. She's proven that over the short time in her career, but you must have been pretty confident with the way that she travelled in the run and the position that Lucy was able to get her into.
Yeah, early doors it was good, and then she had to get off Masquerade's back because it wasn't travelling that good. So they were positive signs, because she looked like she wanted to be there, the horse, and as her record stands at first up, that's the way she likes it, and obviously that's the way we have to treat her from now on.
Is there a good race in her?
Oh, certainly. Like, if you can keep her all together, space her runs, and the Jungle Dawn, one of them races, I think she's already won a black type race. So yeah, I'm only tag along what everyone else has done, but it's good to have her in the stable. So when do we see her next then, with that in mind? I don't know. No. I'm hoping the Jungle Dawn, but or the 1200. So hoping that, but anyway, we'll see as she recovers, and yeah, it might take 3 weeks, might take 6 weeks.
From a trainer's perspective, and to let the punters in on what you're thinking now, you mentioned that she didn't show too much at home and then she produces an effort like that on a track. Obviously, that's a big positive sign for her going forward.
Well, this is her first preparation at my stable under these conditions. So, you know, some horses can't show speed in the heavy sand, and, you know, I just worked her one day with Drift Star and he pantsed her, so I went, either he's a superstar or she's going ordinary, and as it turned out, they're both won, and that's the way it is.
The mighty Drift Star form at home. Look out.
Yeah, he's back.
He's back. Thank you, Lindsay.
I see it.
There's Lindsay Smith there, and it's a great performance by C. Annie to win first up. And down the outside, defeats Minus Looks, who was mighty in defeat here first up from a break.